Have you ever wondered what happens when someone with power is left completely alone? What if the people who once smiled at her suddenly became her greatest enemies? On one terrifying night, a successful CEO stood inside her mansion, surrounded by people who wanted to destroy everything she had built. Fear filled the air, hope seemed lost, and there was no one she could trust. But sometimes, the greatest heroes aren't millionaires, soldiers, or celebrities. Sometimes they're ordinary people with extraordinary hearts. This is the unforgettable story of a single father whose greatest strength wasn't money or influence, it was kindness. And when he activated Codename Phoenix, one incredible act changed countless lives forever. Before we begin, if you love heartwarming stories that remind us how powerful kindness can be, don't forget to subscribe to Bekindalways, like this video, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that inspire hope and compassion. Now, let's begin. Emma Carter was one of the youngest CEOs in America. She had built a technology company from nothing, creating thousands of jobs and helping small businesses grow across the country. People admired her intelligence, but many feared her success. Powerful competitors wanted her company, and when she refused to sell, they quietly began turning people against her. Rumors spread across the business world. Old friends disappeared. Trusted partners betrayed her. Even some employees walked away after believing false stories. Emma stayed strong, believing that honesty would eventually win. One rainy evening, everything changed. Several black vehicles stopped outside her mansion. Angry people gathered near the gates. Some had once worked with her. Others had been paid to create chaos. Security guards became nervous as the crowd grew larger. The mansion was surrounded. Inside, Emma stood near the window, trying to remain calm. Her phone kept ringing with threatening messages. Every exit seemed blocked. For the first time in years, the fearless CEO felt completely helpless. Across town, Daniel Brooks was helping his 8-year-old daughter Lily finish her homework. Daniel worked as a maintenance technician during the day and spent every free moment raising Lily after losing his wife several years earlier. Life wasn't easy. Bills were always waiting. Sleep was often short. But Daniel had taught Lily one important lesson. Kindness is the strongest thing you'll ever own, he always told her. That evening, Daniel received an unexpected message on his old phone. Crisis. Codename Phoenix. Years earlier, Daniel had volunteered with a community emergency response network known as Phoenix. It wasn't a military organization. It was a group of ordinary citizens, retired police officers, nurses, mechanics, teachers, and neighbors who believed in protecting people during emergencies through teamwork, calm thinking, and compassion. Phoenix wasn't about fighting. It was about saving lives. Daniel kissed Lily on the forehead. "I'll be back soon, sweetheart." She smiled. "Go help someone, Dad." Those simple words stayed in his heart. Within minutes, Daniel arrived near Emma's neighborhood. He saw frightened security guards, anxious neighbors, and an angry crowd feeding on fear and misinformation. Many people expected violence. Daniel chose something different. He contacted every Phoenix volunteer nearby. Soon, ordinary people began arriving. A retired firefighter. A school principal. A church pastor. A local nurse. Several community leaders. Instead of bringing weapons, they brought food, water, blankets, medical supplies, and calm voices. Daniel stepped toward the crowd with his hands visible. "No one has to get hurt tonight," he said quietly. Some people shouted at him. Others laughed. But Daniel didn't shout back. He simply listened. One by one, angry people began explaining why they were there. Many had believed lies spread online. Some thought Emma had stolen jobs. Others believed she had cheated local businesses. Daniel never argued. Instead, he asked questions. Did you see proof? Who told you? What if the story isn't true? Slowly, doubt replaced anger. Inside the mansion, Emma watched everything through the security cameras. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. One ordinary father was calming hundreds of frightened people without raising his voice. Then something unexpected happened. An elderly woman in the crowd recognized Daniel. "This man helped rebuild my home after the tornado," she said. Another man stepped forward. "He paid for groceries when my family had nothing." A nurse smiled. "He donated blood for my son." Stories spread through the crowd faster than the rumors ever had. People realized they weren't standing before a powerful businessman. They were standing before someone whose entire life had been built on kindness. Trust began replacing fear. Emma finally walked outside. Everyone became silent. Instead of giving a speech defending herself, she looked at the crowd with tears in her eyes. "I know many of you believe terrible things about me," she said softly. "If I've ever made mistakes, I'm willing to fix them. But I've never stopped caring about the people my company serves." She didn't blame anyone. She didn't insult her enemies. She chose honesty. Daniel stepped beside her. "Sometimes," he said, "people don't need another argument. They need another chance." Those words touched everyone present. Several people lowered their signs. Others apologized. Some even admitted they had accepted money to spread false information. By midnight, the crowd had completely changed. Neighbors who had arrived angry were now helping clean the streets. Volunteers shared coffee with security guards. People who had never spoken before were introducing themselves like old friends. The mansion that had nearly become a place of violence became a place of healing. In the following weeks, investigators uncovered the truth behind the campaign against Emma. Her competitors had created fake stories to destroy her reputation. Those responsible were held accountable through the legal system. Emma could have celebrated her victory by taking revenge. Instead, she remembered Daniel's example. She created a new community foundation that supported struggling families, small businesses, and single parents. Its first director was Daniel Brooks. When reporters asked why she had chosen an ordinary maintenance technician instead of a famous executive, Emma smiled. "Because character is worth more than a resume." Daniel accepted the position only after making one promise. No family asking for help will ever be treated with judgment. Years passed. Thousands of families received scholarships, emergency housing, job training, and medical assistance through the foundation. Lily grew older watching her father serve others every single day. One afternoon she asked him, "Dad, why did you call it Phoenix?" Daniel smiled. "Because kindness always rises again, even after the hardest days." Emma often visited schools to tell young people about that unforgettable night. She never spoke about business strategies or financial success. She spoke about forgiveness. She spoke about listening. Most of all, she spoke about one ordinary father who reminded an entire community that compassion is stronger than fear. And maybe that's the greatest lesson of all. Real heroes don't always wear uniforms. They don't always have millions of dollars or powerful titles. Sometimes they wear work boots, drive old pickup trucks, and come home tired after a long day's work. Yet they still choose kindness when the world expects anger. If this story touched your heart, remember that every act of kindness, no matter